Right, record on this computer. Hello, everybody. So, as long as the background noise doesn't get bad, everybody can be unmuted because I'd like for this to be, and I'm looking at my picture. I need to look at the little thingy up here. So
the little dot.
Yeah, I gotta look at the dot, but I like looking at people. So
hard to do.
It is. So I'll look like I'm cross-eyed or something. So I want to thank you all for coming. I love doing these Zooms, and my ultimate goal is to get tons of people on here because I want to get to know everybody, and being able to do this way, there's no boundaries, you know? We don't have to have a whole bunch of little meetings because everybody can be there. Hey, Tiana, is it Jake? Am I right? Yeah, hey.
Yep.
So as long as it doesn't get like crazy loud in the background, everybody can stay unmuted. And if it does, then either you can mute or I'll mute you, or Heather will mute you. Heather, can I make sure that you're in charge of the chats? Yeah, huh?
Yes. Own it.
Okay, perfect. One of my frontline messaged me and she says, I've had a rough day and I'm going to be on, but I want to listen because I don't want to miss anything, but I'm not going to be able to talk on there tonight, Mel. And I said, you don't have to. I just want you to feel better, and I'm glad you want to be here. She's not here yet though, so part of me wants to message her and say, it's 8:30. Okay, so I do have a PowerPoint that I'm going to jump into, but before I do that, do y'all have any questions before I get started? Do you want to see some new stuff before I jump into the PowerPoint?
New stuff?
Yeah.
Sure. Where you got, Mel?
Ron just unpacked Eliza. Oh, have you seen Eliza yet?
No, not in person.
So
I got one coming.
She is the cutest buddy ever. She's like woolly. And we can't show them the butt first. So just so you know, I judge a buddy by its butt. So can you see? Hold on.
Adorable.
She's got like snuffleupagus long nose. And she's furry, but so super soft. And hold on, are you ready for this? It's like a cord. Like, Eeyore's tail almost. Yep. So it's like a rope. I stinking love it. All right, so there's that. That just came. And Stan the man. I don't know if I can get, so Stan, he's got to be a better name than that. What's Stan's name? Stan the Buddy Clip? Stan the gingerbread man. He's a buddy clip. And he comes in this sack, and he comes with a little cookie cutter. Can you see that? I'll bring it in. Yeah. And he's vanilla bean buttercream scented. Yes, you can open that. Hold on. They put him in this package, I'm guessing so that he doesn't lose his scent. So can you see him? Hold on, back him up. Hold on. Got to show you the bum. He's got nothing special about his bum. Good thing his front is cute. Yep. So there's him. And I didn't realize in the catalog that he came in this sack. What a cute gift.
With a little cookie cutter.
Yes, the cookie cutter's here. Yep.
A tiny little cookie cutter.
Tiny little cookie cutter. Hey, Jess.
Hey.
Yep. Stay in the man. Okay. And then can you put this on, Liza, after? Okay. Can you see this?
Super cute.
This is the little sweater in the holiday flyer, and Ron's going to put it on Liza. So
I got some ornaments. And these ones are way bigger than I thought. Like, they're big and fluffy.
Big and fluffy, and are they light, though?
Yes.
So I bought some primitive, not from Scentsy, but in the past, some primitive ornaments, and they were big like that. So and they weren't heavy.
compared to the little porcelain ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Big
Yeah.
difference.
So
Now,
they're
is that a
cute.
new porcelain one? See, I'm
Yes.
pointing again.
Yes,
Sorry.
every year they've done a different design.
Yes.
And the Christmas cards.
I love it.
but
How many?
they-
Is it 6 Christmas cards?
I
3.
think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. 5. And
But
5
I
cent
love
circles.
what they did with it's the little bear.
Oh, cute. Is it a cutout?
It says a gift for you, Cinnamon Bear. And so there's a little bear on the sin circle. And then you can write your message in there.
I love that.
I thought that was cute. But it wasn't just the same old design. It was like a different
Yep. So they're special.
special.
Special. So this is
And-
Liza.
And strong. Woo!
Yeah. This is Liza with her sweater on.
Cute.
I still love that little rope tail.
Hmm.
I'm in love. I think that Scentsy has done a nice job with the harvest and the holiday collection this year. I really do. You know what's coming in on Thursday? Build a snow bear. No, build a snowman. Build a snowman. So that's the snowman warmer. And it makes me think of Frozen. It doesn't have to be a snowman. You know what I'm talking about? So it's the snowman warmer that the belly lights up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm a nut about snowmen. Okay. Any other questions? Not that you guys really asked any questions. Heather and I showed a bunch of stuff.
It's fun to get new stuff.
It is. It is. And Ron said, I didn't get to putting the order together. So we had 2 orders come in. I didn't get to putting the order together today. So I figured I'd do it during the team meeting. And so he was getting all the paper out and he was opening stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to show them this. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to start screen sharing. There it is. There it is. Hey, does anybody have a favorite scent yet?
Coconut lemongrass.
Yeah? Coconut lemongrass. All right.
I don't know. I put cider mill in the other day, and I hadn't warmed that in a really long time. And I just, every time I walk by, I was like, dang, that is good.
Yes. Yes. So,
And I mixed it with cedar cider, and that's really good too.
oh, yes. So it's got enough of a variance in there that if you have it in a different room, your nose is going to transition, but they don't fight against each other.
Yeah.
Cool. Super cool. So this is not a lot of fluffy PowerPoint that I have for you tonight. However, what I've learned with Zooms for me is that if I have a PowerPoint, I'll get through the things that I want to get through in a typically timely manner. That's nice. So this is like the overall basic stuff that you weren't even supposed to see. So I used a past agenda to grab some stuff. So I'm going to go right past that. So what that was supposed to just say is recognition. Anyhow, so top sales for October so far, we have folks from all over the country and some folks that aren't always up here. So I'm in love with that. So and I took Ron and I out because whenever I'm leading the sales, I don't want to recognize Ron and I when we're leading. I'll put us in if we're somewhere in the middle. So Valeria Paddington from Washington, and then Heather Lambert, number 2. From Florida, Karen Gurley from Maine, Danielle Wadsworth from Maine, Joe Crochet from Maine, Heather Martin from Washington, Nicole Cooley from Maine, Rachel Diaz from Indiana, Amy Marquis from Maine, April Blanchard from, is that right? Yes, from Washington. And the sales go from just under 2,000 already, and it's what? Today's the 17th?
Mm-hmm.
From just under 2,000 to just over 1,100. So crazy cool. I'm going to talk about one of the things that Amy Marquis. So, some people will say, I only live in a little dinky town. There ain't no people here. There's nobody for me to sell to. So if anybody ever wants to look up the population of Lincoln, Maine, there are not a lot of people up there. Hey, Dorothy. So Amy Marquis, 2 months in a row, has actually many months this year, but she's really been getting creative with how she's getting her sales. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now for sponsoring, Superstar Consultant Danielle Wadsworth has 3 new team members.
And she's added the 4th, or is adding the 4th.
Okay, so she did have somebody who came back.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's still going though. And one of the things that I love, so I get to be privileged. She lets me be on her team page, and so she did a live for her people, and she had in Lincoln, Maine, by the way. She had an event in Lincoln, Maine, and she lives, much further south, but her sister lives in Lincoln, Maine, and she wanted some time with her little boy. So she dropped him off there, went and did this event, and focused on sponsoring conversations all day long. And you know what she got out of that? She got some sales. I want to say she said like 300 PRV, but she got one. Yes, a new team member that signed up right after she left. And she has a person, this new team member was there with somebody else who was really, really jazzed about joining. So what I've learned is so you know how they say the grass is greener on the other side? The grass is greener where you water it. So whatever you water is going to grow. So if you want to have a bigger team, then that's what you need to do is focus on sponsoring. Kelsey Hahn, who's a star consultant out in Washington, is blowing up her team as well. She will not be a star consultant much longer, and Danielle Wadsworth will not be a superstar consultant much longer. So the next slide that I have to show you, because I just had this sent to me. So as a superstar director, you get a privilege to have a person at home office that is your coordinator, and one of the things that they can do is pull you some reports that we can't get to here in the field. And one of them is the on the boat or incentive trip report.
Ooh.
So our top 10 people here, and I need to have feedback if I shouldn't post the points themselves. So
good. It helps people know that they're in the same boat as everybody else and what's possible.
Yes. So Ron and I have 10,520. Heather Lambert with 9,192. And I believe she pulled this report today, but I don't know if her information had updated, with the flash sale and everything. So it might be a couple of points.
It's pretty close.
Is it? Okay. So Danielle Wadsworth, 8501. Rebecca Bird from 7189. Joelle Drake, 7181. Valeria Paddington, I usually call her P because I slaughter last names. 6195. Kelsey Hahn, 5869. Joe Crochet, 5374. Nicole Cooley, 4770. And Todd and Hannah McKay, 4761. Todd and Hannah McKay are working hard because they want this trip. They want Anaheim.
They had a ton of recruits though last month, and when those people all certify, those points are going to rack up fast.
Yes. So I just want to give a big shout out for sales, sponsoring, working on your incentive trip points. It is all possible. So if you do not know enough about the incentive trip, go to the, what is that tab? Marketing tab. Yes?
Business resources.
Resources tab. It's on the resources. Go to the resources tab and look up the information. It's also in the files on the Believers and Achievers page. If you can't find what you're looking for, give your upline a holler, myself, Heather, whomever, because we want you to be in the know, and we want you, there is still tons of time to be able to earn.
So much time. 3.5 months left.
Yes, months.
So much time.
Yeah.
And our biggest month yet to come.
Yeah, November. Yeah.
November is huge.
Yes. All right. So let's see. What is your balance? So do anybody here read Mary Christensen? So sales is your income for when?
Today.
Today. Yes, sales is your income for today. Bookings are good job. Bookings are your income for
Tomorrow.
good job. And sponsoring is your income for
The future.
future, forever. That's right. So, a mindset that you're going to hear me talk about a lot, because when I see people doing what I want, then I start to try to think about, all right, so how do they think? I pick people's brains. And the Wickfries are a couple of my heroes because they are real people, and they focus on sponsoring. And Scott, so this whole sales, booking, sponsoring is upside down for Scott. He talks about sponsoring all the time. If somebody asks to buy something, he'll say, I can sell that to you. However, I would really rather you join my team and you make income yourself, because I want you to be able to do what I do. And it's just being real with people. So I wanted to make sure I threw that in there. And I believe Heather's coming up in just a second. Oh, look at that. So expanding your network, Heather Lambert, Star Director, A Curious Mind, sponsoring, booking, sales.
All of it.
Yes. Do you need to take over the screen? Do you want me to give it back to you? Or
No, I think that's good. I mean, I don't have a lot to say, but Mel always asks me, like, what can I share with everybody at these meetings? And I had just read this book. I didn't finish it because it was an interesting book, but it was moving a little slower than I wanted it to. But it had a great message. So in order to really succeed in this business and to do big things and to make big money, you have to expand your network. You have to get outside of your friends and family circle. You have to meet new people. You have to constantly meet new people. You're always adding new people to your customer base, to your team. And, you know, when you start recruiting your hostesses and your customers, you need new customers. So you've got to always be out meeting new people. And if you are really focused on doing that, you never know who you're going to run into and who you're going to meet or what you're going to learn or who they might introduce you to or what opportunity might arise because of a conversation. So A Curious Mind, this book is written by a famous Hollywood producer. He produced Splash, Apollo 13, what are some other movies? I can't think of them off the top of my head, but a lot of really big movies. And so it's basically just his story of how he became so famous in Hollywood. And he was just a law clerk for a studio when he started, and all he did was deliver paperwork, but delivered contracts, movie scripts to people, but he was a delivery boy. And what he found was that when he was delivering, he was giving them to secretaries, assistants, things like that. And eventually he thought to himself, well, this is kind of boring. I kind of want to meet the people that are getting my papers. Like, who am I bringing this stuff to? So he started telling the secretaries and assistants that he had to deliver the papers directly to the people, that he had to hand them personally. And they said, all right, sure. So he started meeting all of these huge Hollywood executive people. And then that got him curious about, well, who else could I meet? I mean, all I did was say I needed to shake this person. I needed to hand these papers to people. So he started to purposely have what I love, curiosity conversations. And so he would find people in the industry that he was curious about, and he would call them up and ask to have a conversation. And a lot of times they were very happy to sit down for an hour and have a conversation and tell him about themselves. So I got to thinking, how can we use this in our business? And basically it's just about being curious about people, about wherever you are and whoever you meet or run into. Can you guys hear that video game? It's gotten louder for some reason.
I can't hear it.
Okay. I can't. It's very loud. I feel like I'm yelling over it. But, you know, wherever you are, if you see something or you see someone or you see something happen or you see somebody who's interesting, be curious. Have that curious mind and want to know more. Ask questions of people like, oh, that's a great skirt. Where did you get that? Start the conversation and ask the questions. When you meet people for the first time, be the person that asks all the questions. I've always been envious of people that do that, and I'm always noticing people that are the ones asking the questions. I have a lot of really great bosses over the years who were very good at asking questions to understand people and situations. And I think you learn so much about people and about opportunity when you're just curious and listen. And so when you're meeting people, if you just ask questions like, what do you do? How did you get into that field? How often do you come here often? Do you come here often? Like, it's a cliche question, but it's true. If you're at a playground with your kids and you meet another mom, do you come to this playground very often? Do you like it here? It's our first time. Like, be curious. Let them tell you about stuff. And if you really get into conversations, people, ask about what they do. Ask if they like their position or their career. Where do they see themselves in the future? Ask them questions, because you never know what they might reveal to you. One, you're going to build relationships, and when people can talk about themselves, it makes them feel good and it connects them to you, right? They like you more because they just got to sit and talk about themselves for whatever period of time. People like to talk about themselves. So if you ask questions and are curious and they get to talk about themselves, they're going to have that connection to you and feel like they like you because you're somebody they can talk to. And if you're curious and you get them talking, you never know what they might open up. They may reveal to you that they hate what they do and they really wish they could quit and stay home with their kids, or that they have a broken car and they really wish they had the money to fix it. Or maybe they'll reveal, like, you just never know. You never know what they might reveal. Maybe they'll reveal that they have this friend who's really having a hard time and needs a job. You just never know. So have conversations with people. Be curious. Ask them questions. Let people open up and be a great listener. And you never know who you might meet, who they'll connect you to, what opportunity might arise from that conversation. And that's how you build relationships. And those relationships turn into sales, they turn into bookings, and they turn into team members. But that's the first step in expanding your network, is just being curious about other people and about other situations and about the world, and asking questions in order to learn. So have a curious mind, go out and meet and talk to people, and ask questions. That's it.
What do you think?
It's so simple.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I'm starting to get my bookings, being curious.
Yeah, and just meeting people and talking to them. And like, I have people that I've met and I've talked to briefly. And now I'm thinking, maybe I need to have a bigger curiosity conversation. What if I called that person up and said, you're very interesting to me, and I really think your job is cool, or what you do is really neat, or I really like, your group of friends, or I'm curious about your job, and could we just meet for coffee someday and just chat about what you do? And I'd just love to hear about it. And to just have a conversation. Like, why can't I call people and have curiosity conversations?
Yeah, I have friends that are in LuLaRoe, and that's what I've been doing with them. I'm like, hey, what's that all about? And so one of my friends, we decided to like kind of combine. I give her some samples. She's giving me LuLaRoe cash to put in as hostess gifts.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to do it that way.
I traded parties with a Premier Jewelry lady last week, and at her party, no lie, were 7 direct sale people.
Wow.
They all sold something different.
Yeah.
So, that just opens you up into a whole huge network of people.
Yeah.
So you never know when you start chatting with people.
Right.
But I think that's the thing, is not thinking about it as being brave, because it's scary to talk to people and ask. If you're a natural introvert like I am, to just have a conversation with somebody is hard, and it's scary and it's uncomfortable. But if you think about it as not necessarily I have to be brave and step outside of my comfort zone, but I need to be curious about what this person is about and who they know and what they can share. So let me just be curious. And if I'm curious, maybe that's a little safer than asking somebody to, you know, buy from me or join my team. Maybe I'm just being curious. That's all. I'm just being curious.
And it's not like speed dating.
No.
You know, so
Right.
so you're not just going to ask a couple questions and then throw out a whole bunch of
Thanks,
sentences.
bye.
Right.
You're just going to stay curious and let the conversation lead where it goes.
Yeah, sometimes they end up talking about business and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's, 6 months before business even comes up, sort of. I mean, I try to bring it up sometimes, but sometimes people aren't ready to hear it. But eventually they understand. But I'm not looking to push it on anybody. I just want to meet people. And that's, I think, the goal, is just meeting people and letting it naturally go where it's going to go.
All right, who can be curious? Does anybody feel like they can be curious?
Oh, I can be very curious. Actually, I be nosy.
I love it. I love it. And Heather's right. It makes now this is going to sound kind of bad, but when somebody else is interested in you enough to continually ask you questions, when you walk away from that person, you feel important. Now, there's a quote out there that says, people may forget what you say and they may forget what you do, but they will never forget how you make them feel. So if you are curious with someone and they walk away and they feel like $1 million, so that $1 million feeling is going to be associated with your name. And for me, in the grand scheme of thing, if I never made a dime off of that person, I would feel like $1 million too, because that's my jam. Making people feel amazing.
Well, I mean, you think about it, sometimes people ask us about Scentsy. They ask about our business. They say, well, what is that? As soon as somebody says, well, what is that? Don't you go, oh.
Oh, yeah. I say a newbie.
and you tell them that you do fundraisers, and they go, oh, well, we're kind of looking for tell me about how you do fundraising. Okay, let me tell you about fundraisers. Or maybe they say, well, I've been kind of looking for some part-time work and need some extra money. Don't your ears perk up, right? Your belly gets warm, your heart starts pounding, and you get really excited. And if you were having a bad day, it ain't so bad anymore.
Right.
And that's how they feel. When you go up to somebody and say, oh, well, what do you do? And they start talking about their position and their job, and you ask more questions, and, well, how did you get into that? And do you really like it? And what's that about? And they feel the same way because somebody is interested in what they do. And that's cool.
Yeah.
It's the beginning. It's
It is.
planting seeds and opening up the world to a whole nother network of people. Because once you get to know that person and they're feeling good about you, they're going to let you into their world. And their world is full of people you've never met before. And
Isn't
one of
the
those,
average, sorry.
200. The average person knows 200 people. So just think about every person you meet, you're potentially meeting 200 new contacts.
And if you're doing that exponentially, one person leads to another person, and you just never know.
Never know who the next one's going to be. It may not be that person, but maybe that person will introduce you to someone who will introduce you to someone who will become your next director.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe that third person that you met along the way will join your team, rock it out of the park, and grow an amazing organization. And now look where you are. It just takes, I mean, I've thought about this before on my team. What if Nicole and Joelle had not joined? Most of my group is Joelle and Nicole's teams. And yeah, Joelle I knew, but I never met Nicole. Nicole I met because my kids did karate and I met Amanda. And Amanda had a party and introduced me to Jen, and Jen had a party and introduced me to Nicole. So you never know who you have a conversation with that might lead you to who you meet in the future, who will become a force on your team and help you build your empire. So
Was it Becca who said, your business isn't built on the people that you know today? Your business will be built on the people that you meet along the way.
Yeah.
So yes, you want to start with your inner circle and your closer friends, because that's where you build some of your comfort zones, and feel comfortable, and it's safe to talk to people and learn how you can keep people's attention a little bit better when it's time for that. However, with what Heather's talking about is being curious. So having that mindset and having a positive image of what Scentsy is and what Scentsy can do for people, that gets me jazzed. And then learning about people, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm glad you talked about this. Does anybody have any questions from Heather?
Anybody curious about anything?
Can I have a smooch? Excuse me 1 minute. Oh, okay. Grace is going to bed. Can you remind Aiden that he needs to be working on getting ready for bed? Thank you. Sorry. It's weird when kids get older. It's not the same. The whole bedtime routine is not the same.
No.
Strange. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we are going to move on, maybe, if I can get my PowerPoint to go. All right, so we've just talked a lot about sponsoring, and I'm going to throw a few more things out there. So it's a mindset, and I was really hoping, so Danielle, if she could get Tucker in bed, and he was all set, she was going to jump on and share some stuff with you, because I really love for people to share stories of things that's working with them. And and she's on fire. That girl is on fire. So it's a mindset. It's something that you focus on all the time. There are tons of reasons to join. So one of my best places to learn things is I will research YouTube. I will type in a subject into YouTube, and it doesn't even have to be a Scentsy consultant, because I love to learn from, over here. I love to learn from all folks, not just Scentsy folks. We do have some really great powerhouse folks. If you're looking to learn more tips about sponsoring, so definitely Scott and Alexandra Wickfree. They have Wickfree TV. Edie Allen, wait, Edie Cody now. No, Edie Cody, yes?
Pelletier.
Oh, Pelletier. Oh my goodness. She got married, I think it was last year, a whole year ago, and I still calling her, well, I still sometimes think of myself with my maiden name, and I've been married for almost 26 years, so I'll give myself a break on that.
It's all right.
So let's see, who else can you recommend to, Becca Levi, for sure. She's got some great videos.
Kate Farmer has a ton of sponsoring videos. Andy Teeter has some great recruiting videos.
Mm-hmm.
I think the what's the Facebook group, Discover Your Aha Moment? I think, didn't they do a whole day on sponsoring?
Yes. So it's raining bars over here. Type into Facebook, Discover Your Aha Moment, and there's been different days that they've done the training, and it's a whole day of trainings on different topics from real Scentsy consultants at sharing real stuff, and it's amazing stuff.
Good stuff.
So the thing that you don't always understand is that when you're doing something, so some of you here are new and some of you are not, when you're doing something, it's just what your thing is. What you don't realize is that's amazing information that other people need to know. So these folks had been asked to speak, and they shared from their heart. So my last thing on sponsoring is get your ask on. So if you're out at a restaurant, bring testers with you and put them on the table and start sniffing, because you know what that makes? That makes people curious. What are they doing? And they will ask you questions, and they will ask you more information. They will continue to ask you stuff about Scentsy, and when you do that, make sure that you get their information as well, because you're going to want to get curious and find out more about them. So, because you're not going to spend a ton of time while you're at dinner building a relationship with them, but you're going to pique their interest. So you're going to want to know more about them. Heather, you had something to say.
Jason just did on the Scentsy Consultant page today a whole live on sponsoring. And his big message was fear will kill your business. So stop being afraid. And he talked about recruiting your best customers, because your best customers already love Scentsy. They're passionate about it. They're willing to share. They're willing to host parties. They would make the best consultants. And to not be afraid to sponsor your best customers, because you will find new customers. And it's easier to find new customers than it is to find new team members. So don't be afraid to recruit your best customers and tell them how great you think they are and how great you know they love Scentsy, and have they ever thought about doing this? And if they have, great, have that conversation. And if they haven't, cool, they're still your best customers. So don't be afraid was his big message.
And be okay to ask people more than once. So sometimes it's taken, now I don't want you to get discouraged, but I've partied with the same people for 2 years before they said, oh, you know what? I'm ready to do this now. And the cool thing about sponsoring your best customers or best hosts is that you already have a relationship with them. And that relationship really helps them to get their business going that much better. You can absolutely sponsor somebody that you don't have a relationship with. However, you need to work on building a relationship with that person, because that people, in my opinion, oftentimes people join because Scentsy's awesome, but oftentimes they stay for the relationships that they create along their Scentsy journey. And having a great relationship with your sponsor or your upline is a beautiful thing. And for us, it's a beautiful thing all the way around. Questions on sponsoring? No? Okay. Oh, I did want to say, get your ask on. So so some people will use the waitress with the coffee. You know, the waitress will ask everybody if they want coffee. However, I like it when the waitress asks me if I want dessert. And usually I'll say no. However, sometimes I'll say yes. And when it's yes, it's sweet success. So be okay. And you know what? She's not sad. She doesn't go in the kitchen and cry if I don't take her dessert. However, she does get happier when I say yes, because that builds her tip higher. So I like that. So just know that they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to whatever. Maybe they don't even know enough about Scentsy. Maybe they need to learn more, and that's why. So you will ask them again, and you will build a relationship with them no matter what. Because I think unless there's something wrong with them, they need to either join, host, or buy. Because one way or another, we're going to have a relationship with them. Okay, so bookings. I use booker hookers. Do you like that? I just like saying that word, booker hooker. So what would a booker hooker be? So for December, I only party for the very first week and a half. So I will offer something extra in December, as well as January and February. So right now, believe it or not, right now I am working on my December, January, and February calendar. And you may think that I'm nuts. However, what I've learned is if I don't start now, then I won't be connecting with as many people in December, January, and February.
They disappear off the face.
So what might my booker hooker be? So typically, it might be something that, it might be to a person who there's no previous host, which makes it the easiest, because we have the perpetual party reward. Say that 10 times fast. I call it the previous host half price item. If there's no previous host, it's ours to do with whatever we want. And I get creative sometimes. Sometimes I will say if they host at least a $200 party, whenever I say, so it could be that first week of December, in January, or in February, and they will get an extra $20 in host rewards. That $20 in host rewards is really coming from that perpetual half off. So it's probably not going to cost me anything or a little. Sometimes I'll say, if you have a qualifying party in that time, I will give you a 6-pack of bars for $15. It's the half off. It didn't cost me anything. Sometimes I just mix it up. It's never typically the same. In January, sometimes I'll say I will buy one of their half price items. So up to a $40 warmer. So I do usually put a limit on there. So if I know. So
we got some big things now.
that might cost me $20. Might. However, if I have a party in January and I don't have to worry, or February, then I'm okay to do that. And there's extra host half price items. So it's just, there's lots of different booker hookers that I have used. And oftentimes I will do up a $20 gift certificate or a $25 gift certificate, and that'll be something that I'll use. It's oftentimes in a bag stuffer, or it's something that I can forward in a private message, or it's something that I can pass out, or I can pop it in the mail. So something that's going to connect me with somebody. And then guess what I have to do? I have to follow up. So if I've given them that thing, I have to follow up and say, hey, what did you think of that? Are you ready to gather the girls? Let's get you some free and half price Scentsy. It's never about, geez, I need to have a party in January and I need to have a party in February. So
I'm trying to reach my goal. Can you please?
Yeah, I always make it about them. Always. You need to have free and half price Scentsy. You have to. And if you have a party, and this is me, seriously. And if you have a party in January, it's typically double half price items for a host, and bring back my bars. Who's gonna do it? And then in February, you know what's awesome about February? So not only will you get my booker hooker, but you will get that off. Yes, and it's the last month that you can get fall and winter fragrances. You need to do this for you and your friends. You gotta please use your own style, but for me, I am all about the fun factor and all about making it about my host and getting them great deals. So when I think of bookings, it's not just, it doesn't have to be a home party. So it can be a sip and sniff. So sometimes when people say no to parties, they think that you're just going to all sit around in a circle and you're going to say, well, this is this and that is that. And why do they want to do that? They're going to think that it's their grandma's old Tupperware party. Know that you can bring fun into their world. And for me, why do I love home parties? It should be all about the business. It should be, because, that's how we can really build our business. For me, that's an awesome side effect. Do you know how many people do not take the time to get together with their friends? They're too busy. However, I've even said this at parties, one of my best things about my job is I get people to get together and have fun. I get to get people together and chit chat and find out what things are going on, because it's not all about what's happening with Scentsy. They are chatting while they're sniffing. So sip and sniffs, so they can sip with it, whatever they want and sniff our Scentsy. So sip and sniffs can be at a coffee house, it can be at a restaurant, it can be at a home, it can be at your home, but it's really casual and there's not a whole ton of demo. And at least in my mind, that's what sip and sniffs have been for me. Theme parties. So I think when Heather was very, 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 very pregnant, she got very, 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 very sick and called her brandiest new recruit and said, what'd you say?
I said, I'm 8 months pregnant with pneumonia, and I have a themed Halloween dress-up costume Scentsy party next week, and I would really love you to go do it for me because I can't. And all of the people at the party, it was a group that I partied with month after month after month. They had been partying with me for almost a year, every month, like literally. So they all know Scentsy. They all know what they want. They know the drill. They know the deal. I wasn't worried about a new person not knowing what to do because they were going to teach her. And when she went to the party and asked who had never been to a Scentsy party before, she was the only one that raised her hand. So they put her on Scentsy and taught her all about everything. And it was a great party, and she had a blast, and it was a lot of fun. So talk about jumping with both feet.
She was very nervous. However, 2 people from that circle joined. So she did a good job.
At least 2. I think more than that.
Oh, okay.
They've all come and gone, I think. But yeah, at least 2 or maybe even 4 of them have been on our team at one point or another.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah. So.
Office parties. Do you know anybody who works at an office and they will let you come in and set up while people are having lunch? You bring a small display. Maybe you bring some chips and salsa with you, and you just talk a little bit about Scentsy, and you're there for a little while having mini conversations as people come in the lunchroom and go out, and whoever invited you in gets to have the host rewards. So, and people who are crazy busy and can't imagine themselves inviting people in their home, that is a way for you to get connected with more people so that you can be curious about more people.
So I gave a basket party to a hostess, and she took it to work and set up her own display. I don't know if you can see that.
That's awesome.
That's just everything I put in the little bag. And that was the black purple one, the new one that we have with all the zippers. I filled that with stuff. And she took it, and that was everything in there that she just spread out on a table. And she emailed me that picture. She said, Scentsy party at work today. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
My hostess who needs to join my team one day.
Just keep talking to her about that.
Oh, yeah.
One of these days, you're going to join my team because you're awesome.
Yeah, I'm spreading the seeds. You'll see one day.
Yep. So we talked a little bit about restaurant parties, Jack and Jill parties. So it doesn't have to be just the gals. Get the guys. So sorry, I'm going to talk about guys for a second, Jake. So here's the thing that I've learned, and maybe it's not the same with everybody. However, a woman, when she's at a party, she's thinking, okay, how much is it going to be okay for me to spend? A guy, when he's at a party, I'm just going to buy it. He doesn't think about how much he's going to spend. It's just different mentalities. Now, in some dynamics, that might change. So Jack and Jill parties can be crazy fun. You could have a football-themed party, you know? So however you do it, keep it fun. Get the guys and the gals together. And then do you know how many guys love Scentsy? How many guys love to smell good? And I have some guys that are loud and proud, and they will buy Scentsy straight from me. And then I have some guys who will be like telling their wife, because their wife will come to the party, and she's like, well, my husband said I need to get this and this and this. She's probably not supposed to say, my husband said I need to get this, this, and this. Anyhow, so get them together. Have a good time. What other things can you think of for bookings? Anybody?
Bingo night.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So there's been a lot of talk about that. I guess somebody shared with it at Summit. But they play bingo, and so when they walk in, anybody that comes to bingo night gets a bingo card, and I guess the more orders they place, the more cards they get, and then they do 6 rounds of bingo, and every round, or they get a set of cards. So when you come to the party, you get a set of 6. So you play 6 rounds of bingo, and here's the thing, each bingo round, the prize is a different Scentsy product that you then get to talk about and share. And while you're calling bingo cards, you can be telling your story, you can be talking about Scentsy, about the benefits, about just your Scentsy life and all the great things and all the great people, and telling stories and talking about products and different ways you can use them. And so while you're playing bingo, you can be sharing tons of information and getting to know people, and they're all having fun playing bingo. and getting free Scentsy and buying all the good stuff while they're there. So
Nice.
just another reason to get people together. Some people like bingo.
Yep.
Game night can be fun. And it could be any game. You could probably rig any game to be Scentsy game night.
You could totally do Pictionary or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Charades with the different scents and stuff.
Why not?
Could be fun.
Anybody else gonna share any $1 million tips?
I'm gonna try an online live party.
So you're gonna do a Facebook live party online.
A live party online, yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a first. So I'm gonna try it. I'm
So-
excited about it.
Have you seen some live Facebook parties?
No, I haven't.
So,
I'm gonna go on and look.
So one that's really good, Allison Dulkey, she does live Facebook parties all the time, like 5 or 6 a month.
Mhm.
And she does them all on her business page on Facebook, which is public. And you can go look at past events. So if you go to Allison Dulkey, her business, find her on Facebook, her independent Scentsy consultant business page, and go to her events on her business page, you'll see all her previous events, and you can go back and watch recordings of all her Facebook Live parties.
Oh,
Smart.
okay.
Smart. There's one in the photo albums in our Believers and Achievers page that Heather Lambert did for us on the Tag Team's 30-minute Facebook party. So if
Yeah,
you
that's a little different than a live, so
Mm,
you know, a couple of different styles. That would be one with video and photos and things like that. So you could go that route, or if you're going to go the live route, I would watch like Allison Dulkey's live.
she'd be
Those are
great.
really-
Yeah.
Really succinct, and they're 30 minutes, and she shows some stuff. She talks about all the things she's talked about. And
So hers are 30-minute parties as well?
Yeah.
Very cool. Any other $1 million tips for bookings?
like you said before, Mel, don't forget to ask more than once.
Yeah.
So I have my hair lady who I've been trying to book a party with for almost a year now, and she finally set a date. The other day when I went to get my hair cut, she finally set a date. So don't give up on people if they show a little bit of interest. They really do want to. They're just crazy busy, and life is nuts, and it gets away from them. And Scentsy is not as important to a lot of people as it is to us.
Right.
Even if they love it, it's still not as important to them as it is to us. And so they
Right.
forget, and it goes on the bottom of the list, and it's just not a priority. So don't be afraid to ask more than once, and don't give up on people if they're showing interest. Just keep reminding them that, hey, we need to set a date. We need to set a date. I have this date available. I have this date available. Eventually, they'll snag one.
If at all possible, if I'm working with somebody to set a date, I give them 2 choices at a time. So I figure out when I'm available, and it might be, did you want to do it in September or October or November? And then from there, did you want it during a weekend or weeknight? And then from there, 2 separate times. So when they're ready to set that, giving them choices, because people are like, it's like going to a restaurant that has all kinds of things on it. It's
hard
much
to pick.
for them.
Hard to
Yeah.
pick.
So we're moving into sales, and I'm running out of time. However, I am going to continue on, and if you have to jump off, I totally get it. Turkey Trots. So I'm going to throw out the name because I'm pretty proud of her. So Amy Marquis had done up 10 turkey trots, and she found a turkey trot. Sorry, it's an envelope, and it has a couple of catalogs and some order forms in there. You can put more if you want to, but that's like the bare bones of it. Use what you have in your business. Don't wait to build your business with what you think that you need to have to build it. Find what you have right now and make it work. And as you get more stuff, that's fine. But our business is simple, and it does not have to be fancy and frilly. So she got 10 envelopes ready and found 10 people who were willing to get some orders. And the goal was for them to get at least $100 in orders. And then she told them that she would split the rewards with all of them. So all 10 people were going to be splitting the rewards. Some people, anyhow, so her 10 people did $1,800. $1,800, and all she did was get people excited, and she split the rewards equally pretty much between all of them. And I have never done a successful turkey trot like that. This girl is from Lincoln, Maine, and they don't have a lot of people up there. So they don't. So that is a way. And a turkey trot, so this was done last month. It doesn't have to be just a turkey trot. And some people will do it before. The reason why it was thought of at Thanksgiving time was you're going to be visiting family and friends places on the holidays anyhow, so just bring this with you and let people shop. But you can call it whatever you want to call it. Open houses. Feel free for your friends. So if you know somebody who loves to entertain, ask her if she wouldn't mind hosting an open house. And if she wouldn't mind for people to come. So people who have small apartments or who are afraid to have people for whatever reason in their home, those would be people to say, hey, I have this friend who's having an open house, and how about if you invite some people to come by and check out the new smells and a few products, and what your friends order, you're going to earn some host rewards. So you'll thank them however. So open houses can be at your house, can be at anybody's house. Sometimes people who help host parties, it turns into an open house because they haven't gotten together with their friends in a long time, and people are all doing this. And they're having fun and just chit-chatting. And what I then figure out is I am not about to bust up a good time. I am going to let them chit-chat. I'm going to work the crowd and talk some sensey, talk to them, and that's how the party goes. Some people don't want to worry about having people have to sit at a regular party, so they'll have an open house. People will come in from one time to another time, and they'll just stop, shop, and go. So it's a good time of year to be thinking about that. When I began my business, every single month I would host an open house. Sometimes people would come. Sometimes people wouldn't come to the following day. You know what it encouraged me to do? Clean. So I would make sure that my house was nice and clean and people would stop by. And then it taught people that I was a Scentsy lady and I was around. So when people needed a last minute gift, they would then begin to call me. Or if they wanted to host a party, it was something that was consistent. It's not something that I do anymore because I have a multi-hostess party up at a local bowling alley each month. So that, in a sense, is my open house because I invite people who don't necessarily want to host a party. Just come on up and have a good time. Order builders. Emily Bain from Maine takes a jar, so a mason jar, and fills it with cubes of holiday scents, and ties this tag that's on this slide to it, and she sets it out for everybody to see, and anybody who orders $40 or more today is going to get entered to win this jar. So people like to win free stuff. It doesn't matter if it's $2, if it costs you $2 or $500, they like to win that free stuff. So be sure that that's a cool way to do that. Use bundle and save. So if somebody has 3 bars, make sure that they know about the buy 5 get 2 free. Buy 5 get 1 free. So make sure that you're looking at them. So I have this party that this host does twice a year, and there's many older people there, and this little lady who's probably in her late 70s. Ron almost always comes with me, and he always works with her to help her figure out her order. Well, he had to work the day of the party, and he got there late, and she walked up to him when he got there, and she says, "Ron, you'll be so proud of me. I bundled it all by myself. And she did. She had the page to the catalog opened to the bundle and save page. So if you don't talk about anything else in the catalog, I would make sure that you have them open up to that so that they will know that there's some cool deals. So use those. Wish lists. So I believe in the Believers and Achievers page, as well as on, I believe on the workstation, they have wish lists that you can print out and hand out to people, so customers, and they can get them back to you. They can pass them, they can fill them out and get them back to you with their spouses or significant others information for you to call them up and say, hey, I just want you to know that I have your wife's wish list and I can help you to do some shopping for her. So it's a service that we can provide, and isn't that spouse going to be looked at like, whoop, whoop, he knew just what I wanted, or she knew just what I wanted, anyhow. So wish lists are a good thing. Craft fairs are a great way to meet people and expand your network. Fundraisers, I love fundraisers. I love big ones and little ones. It doesn't matter, because if I have
big ones.
Yes. So Heather's crazy. She loves them big. And
I like the big ones.
Yeah, like 300 kids or something like that.
I have 2 this month.
Woo!
Excited.
I'm so excited for you. I can't come and help you bag it up, though.
That's all right. I'll
That
manage.
was so fun. She has, if ever you want to know information about fundraisers, look Heather up on YouTube, because she has it right down to a science. She gets it ready beforehand, the day of, and then before it comes in and when it comes in, she just knows just how to do it, and she makes it.
It's a system.
Yes.
Have to have a system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any questions on sales tips? Let's talk bath bombs.
All right.
So I am so excited about this. I don't even take baths, but here's the thing. So
I'm going to.
here's what makes us different from other companies. So Scentsy has been researching bath bombs for some time and was so passionate about making sure that we delivered the experience that was the Scentsy experience to people, that they hired a whole team of people, including chemists, and they are, I should say, we are doing it in-house. We could have hired it out. We could have had them machine made, but every bath bomb is hand pressed. And so another feel good thing. So we always like to give back. And when I was listening to Orville the other day, he was mentioning that there are some refugee women who probably have never had a legit job in the US. And we hired some of them, and they are going to work so hard and be so thankful. And we are thankful to be able to offer employment opportunities. I do want to, share a different screen, because they just gave us, can I find it? They just gave us, not that. Really? So I need to go. I'm so sorry. Give me just a second. I need to find, I'm getting there. No, I'm not getting there. I need to find my web. Is this it? This might be it. Share screen. Yes, hold on. I'm getting there. I'm moving like Crisco. Okay, can you see that? Can you see Scentsy? Okay, so I'm not tech savvy on stuff. So they just released this FAQ. It talks about how they're made, talks about what's in it, what makes them fizz, what makes ours different. The PRV, they're going to be $8. So how long are they going to be available? So while supplies last. So our rate at present, I'm going to share some information I'm not sure I'm supposed to share with you, but I'm going to share it anyhow. So we have 1 million that are handmade, ready right now. However, they want to have 1 billion ready because I know. So that means that every day people are making lots and lots and lots. So, and since he wanted to release them in October, but they wanted to make sure, right. So they wanted to wait because it is going to be while supplies last.
And people are going to buy them in bulk.
Yeah, probably. My nephew's like, Auntie Mel, you need to get me some for Christmas. They make good stocking stuffers. So they probably won't last the whole month of November, but that's the hope. If we get that many made ahead of time, that they will. And yeah, I know it's big. So again, and they're not quite ready to go to other countries yet. So I feel bad for other folks because they want to get what the US and Canada gets too, but there's a concern for shipping. So since he has just sent a shipment to the UK and they want to know how it's going to go because we can't launch something somewhere and fall on our face. We need to launch there's usually an issue or two because it's new. However, they're trying to make sure that those things are done before the actual release, and that's another reason why it's a limited release, because it's easier to fix things when it's a limited time and learn from them. So I'm kind of excited.
Hopefully it'll go really good and then it'll be in the spring catalog.
Yeah. They're the size of a baseball.
Wow.
Big. It says so in here.
That's why they're called bombs.
Yeah. There's not glitter in them yet. So there are other people who have done bath bombs before us. Our goal is to be the best bath bomb that's out there. So will some people have some other frills that we don't have yet? Probably. But the experience that you'll get, the fragrance, the moisturization, the fizzing, so that is a cool experience and it makes me want to take a dubby. So how are you guys marketing it? Anybody?
Haven't even started.
So I posted on my VIP page. And I think I posted on my personal page. I've learned that, and my business page, I've learned that I don't have to worry about what I post on my VIP page. People expect to see Scentsy. So, and I post it there before I post it anywhere else because I want people to know that they're special, that they get to learn things first. So if you don't have a VIP page, it might be something that you might like to do. Heather changed the name of hers and kind of the concept of hers to a sample page. And
it's my secret sample club.
Yeah. So mine is new and it's still going strong. So if I needed to mix it up, that's a thing that you can do. Know that just because this is one thing that you've always done, you don't have to do it that same certain way. Mix it up.
Mine's Highway to Smell.
I love it. I'm on a highway to smell.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and also on the Believers and Achievers page, I posted a link to this FAQ. It is in your email, and it is, I believe, on the workstation. And I also posted 2 pictures because sometimes people have trouble opening things, and I just wanted you to be able to click on it if you wanted to click on it. All right. Questions? I want to know. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen share. Stop the share. Oh. Stop. There. That's what I had for tonight. I did go over. But we had good conversations. And Heather's ready.
Good tonight.
Huh?
I had a busy day.
Yeah.
Not really. Just kidding.
Every day is busy. There's always something.
Went to the movies and I went to lunch and
What did you see at the movies?
we saw The Kingsman,
Was it good?
the new Kingsman. It's good. It's fun. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to stay on and chit chat for just a minute, I'm going to stop the recording. So for you coming tonight, thank you so much for being here. For the folks who are watching this later or listening to this later, thank you for your time. And I cannot wait to see what you do with your business because, ooh, something good's going to come out of this.